let's welcome in Terrell County Sheriff and retired Border Patrol agent Thaddeus Cleveland, along with Director of Border Security and Immigration and former DHS Acting Deputy Chief of Staff Laura Reese. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Kamala Harris had her first one-on-one interview on MSNBC on Wednesdays. Here's what she had to say regarding the border and immigration. Let's take a listen.
Donald Trump got word of the bill, realized it was going to fix a problem he wanted to run on, and told him to kill the bill, don't put it up for a vote. He killed a bill that would have actually been a solution because he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
Thaddeus, let me start with you. As you heard, she says before, she said Trump killed the bill, but doesn't want to go into detail on the elements of the bill. For example, there was $60 billion in aid for Ukraine that was earmarked, and the bill doesn't end catch and release, and it wouldn't stop migrants from claiming asylum to enter and remain in the U.S. indefinitely. What's your reaction to what Kamala Harris said there and her recent visit to the border?
Hey, good morning, and thank you all for having me back. And I'll tell you what, that's her only talking point, is that Donald Trump, President Trump, killed that Senate border bill. And you know, before he was even talking about it in the media, I was already talking about it on interviews and whatnot. Look, that Senate border bill dealt with immigration. It codified and solidified what's been happening in the last 3.5 years. The border bill that we really needed was H.R. 2, which was passed in the House, sent up to the Senate, and then sat on, and it's continued to be sat on. But I'd like to add to her visit yesterday, you know, now she's using an additional talking point saying that our immigration system is broke. And I'll tell you what, it isn't broke. What's broke is Washington, D.C. Two different issues, border security and immigration.
There was a new ad that she has brought out as well recently, but this time there was no Trump border wall in the background because the first one, you know,
she got caught.
She got caught. You know, she didn't fool anyone. We knew that that wall was not built by her. But anyway, let's take a look at the new one before we get some reaction.
Kamala Harris has never backed down from a challenge. She put cartel members and drug traffickers behind bars, and she will secure our border. Here's her plan: hire thousands more border agents, enforce the law and step up technology, and stop fentanyl smuggling and human trafficking. We need a leader with a real plan to fix the border.
Laura, do the voters actually really understand what her role has been over the past 4 years when it comes to the border? Or are people going to take these ads and take them for gospel?
Well, Kamala Harris has a time problem. She talks about what she will do in the future, and she will hearken back to her days as Attorney General in California. But what she doesn't face is the present. And presently, she is in the White House. She is, in effect, the de facto president right now because Joe Biden is at the beach. She could do all these things right now. She could have done it the past 3.5 years, and she has not, which makes her very incredible. Not credible when she talks about border security and just giving it lip service. The agents know otherwise on the ground. The American public knows otherwise. And that is why she is so underwater on this issue, which is, if not the #1 issue for Americans, the second most important issue right behind the economy.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Thaddeus, yesterday, there was a letter from ICE to a representative in the House of Representatives, and it mentioned the number of convicted illegals that are roaming in the United States at this point. I think something like 13,000 people who have been convicted of murder. Another 15, almost 16,000 were convicted of sexual assault. And overall, there's over 400,000 roaming the United States with other criminal records. What does this mean to the people of the United States, and what do you think this means for the election?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, you know, Tony Gonzalez is my congressman, and I'm glad that he put that out there. He's faced a lot of scrutiny, and I like to think I've had the ability to help shape his opinion on border security and the difference with immigration. But specifically to that point, when you look at those numbers, I'm going to tell you they're going to be low. The number of criminals that have come in over the last three and a half years that we have no idea about their criminal history because they come from countries that either won't share databases or don't have databases, that number is going to be much higher. There's a lot more criminals out there roaming the street, illegal aliens that are being stopped every day for crimes and let go because there's no one to respond to them, or they just haven't been identified in a crime here in the U.S. either. So unfortunately, we're going to continue to pay the price and be affected by this last 3.5 years for decades to come.
We do have to run to a break, but Laura, let's get those numbers back up on the screen again, take another look at them, and then we'll get your reaction before we head out. We've got about 20 seconds.
Yeah, Americans were shocked yesterday by these numbers. 425,000 convicted criminal aliens out on the street. What is Kamala Harris doing about those people right now? Nothing. She could direct Congress to give money to ICE to go find those people and arrest them and protect Americans, and she's not doing it. She's falling down on the job, and that is why she's in trouble come November.
All right. Well, thank you both for your insight on that. They are extraordinary numbers. I can't believe it. Wow.
Shocking.
Yeah. Thaddeus Cleveland, Laura Reese, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.